Yeah, I think the viewers are just going to be excited to see the water and the new kind of way that that will play out. And let's go ahead and get into this game. We have MarineLorD spawning in the south as that HRE, and Beastyqt as the Ottomans over there on the north side.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, immediately one villager going out for MarineLorD gonna start fishing and then drop that dock as soon as he has the wood. I imagine Beastie will be doing the same thing, and we're just gonna see some early fishing boats coming out here.
Yep.
And
Wood opening
yeah,
on both sides. That means water opening, and that means we will get to see exactly what we want.
yeah. So let's maybe talk a little bit about some of the differences with the naval gameplay on these on this patch. So there's a new thing at the dock. Well, actually, there's lots of new things at the dock. There's a lot of the upgrades have been changed. A lot of the um, a lot of new ones, I think, or new effects at least on them. And one of the new things at the dock is actually an emplacement. So you can research basically a fire arrow emplacement. And what it will do is it will only attack other ships, so it kind of gives you more of a way to defend your side of the coast. So if your opponent has more ships than you, it's not necessarily going to be GG if you, as long as you invest into a couple of those emplacements.
Yeah, so that definitely was. I know one of the major concerns was always once I lost the first water engagement, it's game over. Well, now they've already accounted for that, and there's other ways to get back in it as well, as it's kind of that tri-pronged counter unit effect with arrow ships, springled ships, and demolition ships.
Yeah, so a little bit more flexibility there. As you mentioned, like all the ships are now available in Feudal Age. The counter system is a little bit harder than before, so every unit is a little bit more specialized. You of course have the archer ship, which counters the demolition ship, and then you have the Hulk, which counters the archer ship, and then you have the demolition ship, which counters the Hulk. So you really have to think about which ships you're gonna make and why, and really try to use your archer ships to focus down the demolition ships and keep them nice and safe.
And obviously, we haven't seen any of these ships come out yet. How easily is it to differentiate between these ships? Is it one of these that I'm like, oh my, like I know in the old days with Bruce, it was like, oh, that was a fishing ship. Oh, that's a demo ship. Oh, I didn't even know. Is it pretty easy to differentiate between the ship differences?
Some civs are definitely easier than others. This game, I think both civs are going to have the galley and the Hulk, which do look a little bit similar, but at least like the galley will shoot front facing, whereas the Hulk is going to be side facing, so it shouldn't be too hard to determine what's what in actual combat. Another cool change with the archer ships is instead of firing, those arrows one by one, they used to shoot like 4 or 5 arrows one at a time. Now they shoot them all at once, and it kind of spreads out. So there's like a little bit of potential area damage, a little bit of potential to even dodge the arrows if you really micro. And against things like demolition ships, sometimes the spread of those arrows can mean that you can actually take out multiple ships at once.
Nice, yeah, that's definitely a thing that can easily become a concern, especially when you get a lot of arrow ships. That spread damage can end up multiplying quite a bit and being a huge effect.
Yeah, but looks like we finally have the players clicking up to the next age. They've decided they've made enough fishing boats for now. Yeah, we could talk about maybe some of the change to HRE on naval maps. Their unique upgrade at the dock has been changed. So now, if you research it, your ships, if they get damaged, will actually heal up out of combat. A little bit similar to the chivalry upgrade for the French knights. You're gonna have that on your ships now as HRE.
Yeah, and what was that Ottoman landmark that we saw over there?
Yeah, that's a different one. This is the first time we've been seeing this landmark today. It's going to be the Sultanhani Trade Network, and the way this works is when you complete it, it spawns a couple of traders inside the building. So the building has 6 garrison slots available to it, and you can train up to 4 more traders, and they generate I can't remember the exact value, but it's roughly 30 gold per minute for each trader.
I think it was 28.
Yeah, maybe 28 gold, something like that. So in the long run, if you add more traders to it, you get a lot of extra gold out of this landmark.
Yeah, and obviously traders have that investment time anyways. This just creates a way for them to be safe and secured inside. But can you just ungarrison them and send them on an actual trade route like a typical market?
You can, yep. And in some cases, maybe you would want to ungarrison if you can get like a really long trade route. Of course, there's going to be opportunity cost though, where you're not going to be able to spend the gold they would have generated in the meantime on that trip for a long time. So usually you'll probably want to keep them garrisoned, but it does make for an interesting use of traders.
Yeah, my thought was just, you know, if you get it out earlier enough, you might be able to get one huge big market run. But at the same time, just how you said, that opportunity cost is that 28 gold per minute that you would have already been generating immediately that you can immediately spend as it comes in.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes that gold can, get you a faster wood upgrade or a faster wheelbarrow, and then the resources you get from walking the trip actually makes it kind of not worth it to go for that, especially with the risk involved if it gets raided. But yeah, it looks like we have the naval arrow slits being researched at one of the docks here from Beastyqt, so that's going to help him defend a lot against a couple of hulks that it looks like MarineLorD has trained here.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm wondering is how far do those arrow slits and placements on the docks actually fire?
It's quite far. I think it's 11 range, so more than a Springald. But yeah, a couple hooks here out from MarineLorD. He's going to be forcing the fishing boats back. But yeah, we can see the dock just going to slowly deal some damage to that hulk, so MarineLorD will be forced to run away eventually here.
One of the things you guys in the audience may be wondering is why is MarineLorD not doing the spin to win meta anymore? And that is because now I believe both sides.
Oh, the demos!
Oh, he just couldn't even react to the demo ship, and BC's not even gonna blow it up.
Yeah, I love the presence of mind there to recognize that that's gonna get finished off by the emplacement. And that's the thing you have to be really careful about now, is that the demolition ships are really good against the hulks, and if you don't have archer ships to defend them, you can be in big trouble.
Yeah, that was pretty wild seeing that come out, and it just shows you how useful that counter metric was. It felt like MarineLorD in the old days, two hulks come up to your two docks, and you don't have arrow ships out, and actually you need like 6 arrow ships out to deal with it. Well, now Beasty was able to just chill, pull his fishing boats back a little bit, and wait for the demo ships to come out because they're that correct counter unit. So a really, really good job. It just already shows you the intricacies of this counter units.
Yeah, but MarineLorD, he's still sticking with hulks, the tried and true, although they have very different stats now. So this might not be as successful. He really is going to want to train some galleys probably to protect him against those archer ships. As you can see, yeah, hovering over the stats there. The ballista is no longer doing 100 damage. It's only doing 35, but it has quite high bonus damage against the archer ship.
Yeah, and one thing we saw Beastyqt, I think there was double military schools, so he's going to start creating a land presence. And the thing I love about the military schools is he doesn't have to use the resources to constantly produce, so he's not giving up resources elsewhere as we see double demos.
These demos are very dangerous. Oh, I like the split here, though. Oh, there's an archer ship out now. Look how much damage it does to that as well, and that's... Okay, he just managed to take just the tail end of the damage of the explosion there. So good micro from MarineLorD. There's something else, too, about the Hulk now, is that if our observer would kindly click on one, the Hulk actually has an ability on it as well that allows your Hulks to move more quickly for a short period of time, but they can't attack during it. And this can be really helpful when you're trying to maneuver and avoid something like the demolition ship.
Oh, so it's almost like the upgrade for the Delhi marching drills, is it?
Yeah.
Or
very similar to Forced March.
Forced March, that's what it is. A demo is ready and waiting. Beasty.
Either player is looking.
Oh, bye-bye arrow ship. And the next Hulk looked to take some damage as well, and another demo ship just pops right on out and fires down on that next Hulk, which should get taken down by the dock in place. There it does.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful not to leave your hulks exposed without galleys, because you will end up in a situation like that where the demolition pops out from the dock and just completely destroys you.
I'm worried for MarineLorD on land. I think Beasty is slowly just going to get a couple of these cavalry units, and once 1 or 2 raids come in, it will be a struggle, but I say that Regnance is being dropped. MarineLorD will go try to snag up some of these relics and create that additional gold presence.
Yeah, I mean, Beasty's been trading okay on water with the ships, but MarineLorD has a lot of fishing boats. Like, Beasty's not been reciprocating the pressure, and yeah, just looking at the economy, like, MarineLorD is maybe not quite ahead, but because Beasty has the military schools, but he will be as soon as this Regnitz goes up and he's able to collect a couple of relics.
He's just not even reacting to the little bit of raid coming in. 1 villager goes down, but if he's able to secure up a couple relics and more importantly secure up water, then that's really where the eco 1 or 2 villagers doesn't matter too much. But if he doesn't react to this will create a big effect over time.
Yeah, he's not noticed that this spy he's killing his vills yet, and Beasty's starting to pull ahead in the villager count at least.
Finally.
Yeah, so far. Sorry?
I was going to say finally he reacts, pulls off the gold once the gold villagers started to get pressured, but new age begins and Prelate already out ready to secure up that first relic and bring it home.
So that's going to help a lot with the economy there, and with these military schools toggled to Spahi, they're not going to be super useful against the knights. And oh, that's a lot of demo ships, but that's not exactly a good trade against the archer unless he does manage to connect with these hulks. He is going to get one of them, but I think 1 hulk for the cost of potentially 5 demos. Yeah, 5 demos for 1 hulk is probably not the best trade in the world.
Nah, I don't think it would be either. BC having to pull back a little bit on water, and Castle Age now will allow MarineLorD to get a couple extra upgrades on his ships.
Yeah, there's quite a few extra upgrades available to you in Castle Age now. Basically every ship has an upgrade, so you have an upgrade for the archer ship, for the springald ship, and for the demolition ship. And then you also have 1 extra upgrade, that armored hull upgrade, which has been changed so it now affects all ships instead of only springald ships. So that's really the upgrade you want to prioritize when you hit the next stage here.
And one thing I'd love to see too is MarineLorD could actually put one of those relics inside of a dock.
Yeah,
instead.
Yeah, he could, especially with the Regnitz.
So that might create a little bit more of a profound effect onto water, as there's additional bonuses that come in with dropping a relic inside of a dock compared to, you know, just the Regnitz Cathedral. It still gives you the gold, but it gives you extra bonuses on the sea.
Yeah, I think it should also affect the range and damage of emplacements if you do get them on the dock as well. So it kind of like a double bonus there. If he does choose to do that.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's one thing I'd love to see, and it's actually a shorter path for your prelates if you're getting some of those from the further side. It could be a little bit easier. Aeroship doing that AOE fire like you were just talking about earlier.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Vulks out here now for Beastie, so that galley is going to be taken out. Beastie he doesn't only have 2 Janissaries, does he? No, he has 6 Janissaries, so he used the Vizier Point. The Janissary Company, which gives you an extra, or it basically delivers you 2 Janissaries for each military school you have, and you can get that as early as Feudal Age, as we see there. So they're going to help defend against the Knight raids as they do bonus damage to the Knights.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, the 3rd relic and 4th relic being secured for MarineLorD, this is with Regnitz, and the whole time right now, Beastie is sitting an age behind. You might say, yeah, but he's ahead in eco. He's not ahead in eco by much, and you're forgetting how much relics end up producing as far as these gold goes.
Yeah, and I don't imagine that either player is super familiar with how all the naval changes have panned out, but this is actually going to be just fine for Beastie until MarineLorD manages to invest into those naval upgrades, especially armored hull. And he did get the incendiary upgrade, I believe. So his demolition ships are going to be very strong, but yeah, definitely those upgrades are going to be very important for him.
11 knights. already from
We
Marine
do
Lord.
have spears and janissaries though. The janissaries do a lot of bonus damage here, but there might not be enough to deal with the knights.
I still think it needs to be like 2-to-1 almost. Beastyqt just now reaching Castle Age, has been able to take out I think 2 or 3 of those knights with the janissaries. But remember, those janissaries got delivered with the points, but they are actually taking down those knights pretty well, a little bit better than I thought.
Yeah, they do quite well against cavalry for sure. And looks like we had a little bit of a trade on water. I don't know if it doesn't look like Beastie lost any ships, but yeah, man, MarineLorD would have such a big advantage in these naval fights if he could just garrison those relics in the docks for the extra attack speed. He has so many of them.
And is that armored hull finally coming in? It is. So that is going to be that big difference on the sea, as you were talking about. This is what kind of creates that level above your opponent. You both have access to kind of the same tricks. It's, well, if you get the age up, if you get the tech up, then you're going to start winning those battles.
It's a lot of demolition ships for MarineLorD. He does have the upgrade on them, so they're going to be pretty strong if he can connect them with Beastie's hulks. Looks like one aeroship was just watching the trading post there to make sure MarineLorD wasn't trying to trade, as the trade ships are also half cost now compared to before. And their gather rate hasn't been changed, although it probably will need to be in the future. So trade ships could be really strong even on such a short trade route like this map at the moment. But oh, Beastie, he's not paying attention. He's going to lose a lot of hulks here potentially.
Oh my! And fishing boats and everything. It just, I mean, that was all his water right there.
Yeah, that was a super good trade for MarineLorD. Beastie could try and move his hulks back here to defense of the docks, as the emplacements are going to add a lot of extra damage in here. But MarineLorD's okay to eat the damage if he can finish off the hulks, make sure they don't get repaired. And he's going to be pretty happy with that trade, but there's demolition ships on the back of it. He's only got one galley. That's not enough to defend these 3 hulks. He needs to split them, but he's busy raiding Beastie's base. And all 3 hulks get taken out.
That raid, though, coming in on Beastie's base, it's, you know, causing Beastie to full turn back. And look at the eco difference that all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Not only is it, you know, the villager count lead, it's 5 relics. 2 haven't been dropped in somewhere yet, so maybe MarineLorD needs to remember he can put those in the docks, as that wasn't really ever a thing that people utilize. But with the new updates, I think it might be something that people will utilize a little bit more.
Yeah, potentially. Oh no, you've got to be careful with that, MarineLorD. Yeah, I'm gonna split those. He's gonna lose at least 1 here.
Beastie just finally has looked to secure up his base with some walls, but I think it just might be too late. MarineLorD has started that snowball. He started that eco lead. He started the Castle Age earlier on and got the relic differential. And, you know, I don't care that Ottomans are getting their military units for free if you're not doing something with them.
Yeah, and really, like, with both players, like, investing into land military as well, they haven't been able to get the really triangle of warships that they need to make sure that they have a strong, robust army composition. So these demos have been very effective, just because neither player has really been investing into galleys to defeat them.
No, we've seen a couple times where there's been mass demos and mass hulks, but not really a time when there's been mass galleys, which... obviously, you know, they could have their point in place, but the Carracks can start coming out for MarineLorD once that Suavia finishes, which is about 3/4 of the way. Almost going to finish up here in just a second. Galley's not doing the worst job. It's trying to snipe down those demo ships coming in, as well as doing damage on fishing ships that are hanging out as well.
Yeah, this Imperial Age is going to be a really strong timing for MarineLorD. He's got tons of gold in the bank for those upgrades. And the demolition ship not going to decide to detonate on those fishing boats, but I think Beastie's going to try to pick off a couple hulks here. And they're stacked on top of each other. He's going to get both of them. Oh, not quite.
Didn't quite get the full damage on the second, but still a pretty good pickup. It's just been this constant back and forth. Demos don't do quite as much to fishing as they do to those hulks. They don't have that extra bonus damage, but still did a decent bit over there. However,
yeah, they're definitely not as effective against fishing boats as they used to be. If you can connect the area damage on a few of them with like 2 demos, you can take out a lot of fishing boats, but it's definitely not the unit you want to be raiding with usually.
Yeah, I'm wondering when, there it is, the bigger transition onto the land's gonna happen. Usually it's this kind of like, oh, I kind of reclaim the sea. Well, it seems like more it's going to be this constant back and forth of maintaining, you know, the sea control. MarineLorD looks to be building some forward barracks that immediately get taken down by some of Beasty's units. Was that a chop through? He just ran through that.
I think he might have had a chop through, yes. He may also just have a gate there. I'm not sure.
No, I think he, yeah, I think he ran through the wall on the opposite side. But, you know, building those barracks behind now, full transition into mass men-at-arms and land snakes.
Yeah, but the men-at-arms haven't been upgraded yet. They're just about to finish their Castle Age upgrades. They're not super strong, but the demos
How many
coming
demos is that?
but they really did not do a lot of damage for how much he invested into that, because they only connected with the fishing boats and the galleys, so not actually the best trade for Beasty there.
Yeah, those spearmen are moving on forward for Beastyqt, but starting to get fired down by the by the good old Palace of Swabia, and the men-at-arms are about to jump out. And if I were MarineLorD, I would just send my men-at-arms right to that mangonel and try to take that down. Ooh. Some good damage coming down, but MarineLorD, he again should build this eco lead faster and faster, more and more, as BC is going to be quite far away from Imperial Age and will just continue to fall on the villager count regards.
Yeah, Beasty's going to be struggling for the next several minutes of this game, probably. He's doing what he needs to do. He's trying to do as much damage as possible. He's trying to buy time. He's unfortunately torching a mining camp instead of killing villagers, but yeah, buying time is the name of the game here. Beasty needs time to catch up in villager count, time to get to Imperial, time to research upgrades, and that mangonel is probably not the smartest mangonel in the world, but it might get a couple of nice shots on something.
I mean, he's kind of laughing in her face right now. He's just kind of moseying his way behind this. He says, no, don't worry about me. Nothing to see here. I'm just going to continue on my way, and it's about to be 5 villagers.
There's a push on the water as well. Beasty's pushing the docks of MarineLorD.
Mangonel finally gets burned. Last couple spearmen look to be cleared up.
Demos just chilling next to each other.
Beasty is loving demos. He's just mass demo ships.
The demos can definitely be very strong if there's not a lot of archer ships in the game. But I mean, like, this is expensive, right? Like, he's trading them he's trading them having already invested into them, so it's not like for free. Ooh, nice use of the splash damage there.
Emergency
They do
repair?
good damage to docks now.
Is that what did he use emergency repair immediately? Was that in the influence?
I don't think those are in the influence, so no, he didn't use emergency repair.
That one dock on the right's full health. Yeah, he did.
Okay, it is in range, yeah.
Somehow, but immediately that was just a huge waste of those demo ships, especially if he can keep that middle dock alive for emergency repairs to come back. As I say that, though, more and more demo ships just keep pushing on through. Middle dock will be taken down, but not before some heavy casualties on the opposite side.
Yeah, and Beasty, it's looking like he might manage to secure control over the sea, which would be a good advantage for him. He's going to clean up the dock here. He's just sacking the demos for it to make sure it goes down. He does have to be careful, though. MarineLorD could train a couple demos himself, though he has nothing in queue at the moment. And yeah, if he manages to get control of the sea, that'll be good. But he's invested so much into this, he's not going to be able to age anytime soon. He's trying to build stone walls to buy time against the men-at-arms now, but those are going to take a little while to build. The men-at-arms might actually get through the palisades before the walls go up.
Yeah, that's where, you know, MarineLorD's got 22 men-at-arms. He could eat. There's no counter unit yet on the opposite side. The mangonels will do a ton of damage while they're grouped up like that, though. Needs a little bit more of a split. 2 different spots on the wall look to be burned through, but not before Beasty quick walls. Walls haven't finished on the left side, though.
There is also one gap that he could torch his way through that's not being constructed. The Vils are quickly trying to get through there, but the men-at-arms are going to block it.
They are through. Vils might be able to finish if the men-at-arms get cleaned up and just run past like they are doing. They're focusing on the siege, which will allow a cutoff on this eastern side of any more reinforcing men-at-arms coming through. Beastyqt,
Yeah, I know.
full denial on the water of MarineLorD. This is huge for him, and I would assume he's just going to go heavy into the fishing boats. As you see, I think I saw 7 queued up there. He just changed it to 5, or 5 came out.
Yeah, he's got himself control of the water. He's done such a good job of like stalling MarineLorD's Imperial Age here. Like MarineLorD's got still like a villager lead, like 22 vills, but Beasty's holding on.
MarineLorD has so much gold, he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, 4,500 gold is a lot. He could maybe look to secure these sacred sites on both sides of the map here and try to start that timer while Beastyqt tries to play catch up. But for now, it looks like he's just going to continue training men-at-arms, which is not going to get him through that wall.
Yeah, and Beastyqt could just swap all of his military schools to just kind of start producing that counter unit of the men-at-arms. Oh, it's more barracks.
He could go for siege engineering. Rams do more damage to walls on this patch, another 100 damage, so they would get through the wall reasonably quickly. Honestly, he could... It's a bit of a meme, but he could even siege tower through the wall right now because there is a gate there for Beastyqt.
What about transport ship?
He doesn't have docks.
Oh, he was building that dock right there near the walls that we just saw on the eastern side of the lake.
Yeah, that likely is why
he's triple docking.
So he's gonna transport over the yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do.
And you mentioned the emplacements on the docks only are for countering ships, correct?
Yeah.
So if these men-at-arms get through, it's all on Beastyqt's land army to stop this, which is 5 Janissaries and 1 spear.
Yeah, but that being said, it looks like he's actually chosen to invest into ships. It looks like he's still training hulks. No Carracks coming out actually, which would be really strong here in this situation probably.
Yeah.
Although I guess the demos do counter them, and Beastyqt has been making a lot of demos.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that as well. It looks like, does Beastyqt have a Hulk close to that wood line starting to deny some of that wood from MarineLorD?
Yeah, he's trying to get as much control over the coast as possible. That one demo is going to get a good shot on that Hulk, but...
MarineLorD is up to 38 men-at-arms. 38 men-at-arms.
Beastyqt's just trading these demos for docks, which can't be worth it. The demo is super expensive. I mean, it's worth it if you kill the docks. Sometimes it's worth it to just keep the production down, but... Oh, it looks like there is Carracks actually coming out for MarineLorD.
As well as 2 bombards in queue. Not great bombers, just 2 regular bombards. Remember, this is the HRE, and can start killing those walls for... Oh.
That's not a Carrack, actually.
It's just the upgrade on... Is that a surround?
Right. The sound effects are confusing me with the Hulk sound.
Those demos did significantly less once those upgrades came through.
Yeah, the demos are definitely no good against other demos and galleys. They're very good against Hulks and Carracks, but yeah, you don't want to just be throwing them away against galleys.
And you might say, why is MarineLorD building a town center right there front and forward? It's for his emergency repair influence. He wants to.
Oh, there's no villagers around to repair this wall when it goes down.
And a good amount of arrow ships coming out. Beastyqt relying heavily onto all of those fishing boats. We talked about how heavy into that fishing eco he had transitioned into. And going up to Imperial Age right as MarineLorD's timing up this push. And he just gives up.
Yeah, I mean, he just started going Imperial, but he doesn't have the units to deal with this. And MarineLorD takes the game.
Yeah, it felt like it was MarineLorD's for a while, and then Beastyqt retook the water, and it felt like it was Beastyqt's again. But MarineLorD, once he was Imperial, once he had those extra upgrades on the ships, he was able to kind of secure up the docks again and take it on back.
Yeah, it was a clever spot to be building the docks for MarineLorD, because it was just the one spot that Beastyqt wasn't paying attention to. And then he was able to get the Imperial Age upgrade on the ships and then start training training ships from that, while also getting the bombards out to push. And yeah, Beasty's economy just wasn't good enough to keep up.
Exactly. And so, again, you know, unfortunately, the Ottoman Empire getting taken down. But I would say if HRE is ever able to get 5 relics with Rag